So it has been, I think it's been 24 hours since I melted all these down. I just turned it off and went inside, and a lot of people were unhappy about the cliffhanger, but the video is getting long, and you know, it is what it is. But it looks like it's pulled away from the, oh wow, look at that. Okay, so it's not, well, that's interesting. It's certainly solid. It's not all purple. The bottom half is actually extremely colorful. Presuming that this was going to happen, I actually went online and bought a bunch of Crayola crayons. The overwhelming comments were two things. One, I shouldn't have done the ice bath to cool it down so quickly, and I think you guys are all right. And the second one was not to use the cheap crayons. So the rose art. Now, all things considered, this is a pretty good bond here. I don't see any issues with this bond. But, I mean, it's not going to hurt to have the Crayola crayons. So I ordered 4 boxes of 64 crayons. Ooh, I mean, I almost wonder if I can turn it on the lathe. I wonder what I could make. My go-to project has been bracelets, and there's a certain joy to the fact that I've made 4 bracelets so far, and none of them are similar. I've made one out of blue jeans, I've made one out of salt, I've made one out of resin, and I've made one out of glow-in-the-dark phosphorescent wood. You know, it'd kind of be fun to have a gallery of bracelets out of all these different bonkers materials. Not a lot of thickness on the front half, but it's pretty decent thickness here on the back. So I think we can work with this. I think one of my favorite parts of the last video was that nobody said anything like, oh my goodness, you're cutting crayons on the bandsaw. So I think I finally weeded out all of the folks that were unhappy about my strange tendencies. Oh my gosh, this is so stupid. Let's take it back to the bandsaw. I don't know, that's pretty thin for any bracelet, much less a crayon bracelet. So, but you know what? I got nothing to lose, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Because at the worst case, it'll fly off the lathe, and at the best case, I'll have something I've never seen before. I have my lathe with my jam chuck, and the tenon on here matches the Forstner bit's diameter, so it should slip over there snugly. Everybody's got their thing, you know, got guys that only make bowls. So yeah, I tend to make bracelets. A bowl is interesting, and I like making bowls, but you only get to see it when you're in somebody's house. Nobody brings bowls with them. But that's not true with bracelets or rings or, you know, other types of jewelry. So you're actually exhibiting the piece wherever you go. And there's something appealing about knowing that my piece is with somebody wherever they go. So, is a crayon bracelet the most practical thing I've ever made? Oh, certainly not. But it's not as fragile as I expected it to be. And I, for one, am just happy to know that it exists, because it means that when my box of crayons arrive, I can actually turn them on the lathe.